Hello, folks. Once again here, I'm Bob Kitchen, co-owner of Maple Hill Golf, and you're listening to the official podcast, The Hill Unscripted. Every 2 weeks, I bring you real talk from inside the golf world, insight stories, and conversations that matter to you as a golfer and a valued part of the Maple Hill family. So, speaking of family, this is a very special podcast because I have my father, Rich Kitchen, here with me to do this podcast, and I'm going to bring him in here in just a little bit. I got a couple things I want to talk about real quick and just move through that. Then I want to have some fun with my dad and talk about some crazy things that have happened over the years. And we asked him to kind of make some notes and stuff. So some pretty fun stuff. So here we go. News from the PGA Tour segment. I didn't get to see this tournament. I've been kind of gone for a little while. I was in Germany for a week with my son, and Justin Rose rallies late and beats JJ Spawn on the third playoff hole. So JJ remains hot, and Justin Rose, a little older guy, a little veteran. But it's hard not to love Justin Rose. If you watch the guy, if you know what a class act he is, he's a little older, but the guy's lights out. So congratulations to Justin Rose. Absolutely fantastic. And JJ Spawn, man, he kind of, in my opinion, he kind of came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden he's really, really a vital part of the golf world right now. And I just got the new Cleveland Strixon catalog for 2026. We just met with the sales rep, and he is on the cover. Go figure. So very cool. That's pretty interesting. And the FedEx Cup is, I think it's fun to watch. I enjoy it. I think the playoff thing is fun. This one I have to mention because this one's near and dear to my heart. Don Anderson, one of our hardest working employees, one of our most loyal employees, really, really good guy. He got a hole-in-one, folks, on August 5th, so just a week ago or so. And it was... He was like, man, I think my other hole-in-one might have been in August. So we went back and looked, and his other hole-in-one was on August 5th also. So he got it on the exact same day, and I think it was either 7 or 8 years apart that he got his hole-in-one. So I don't know what the odds of that are, but it's overwhelmingly outrageously low that he would get a hole-in-one on the exact same day, but he did it. So congratulations to Donnie. I had to mention on the podcast, if nothing else, to embarrass him. Moving on to the big part and the meat and potatoes of this. Why I have my father here is to talk about some of the biggest or craziest purchases we've ever made here at Maple Hill. So, Dad, do you have anything that comes to mind? I got a list from my brother, from Andy.
The biggest was way back when we first bought the golf course, the second year, with Wilson Sporting Goods. I bought 40,000 clubs, and we were selling. That's no question. That purchase allowed us to redesign. I redesigned 4 greens and 6 tees, and we were selling clubs crazy. We bought the woods at $5, the irons at $3, and matched up sets. We came in at night and spread them out in the clubhouse and made up sets. I had school teachers selling them, and it was a terrific thing at the right time at the right place. So that was probably the most lucrative of all the things I've been able to buy, and it was a great demand.
Yeah.
And I think all of West Michigan was playing Walter Hagen golf clubs.
I believe it.
Some of the sets even matched.
Right.
Some of the sets even,
If anybody saw the other interview I did with my dad that aired maybe a few months ago, you can hear a little bit more about it in that interview, which was a really great interview, and it was an hour long. This will be much shorter, but it started off as kind of matching sets, and then it kind of dwindled into your 8 irons of different flex. And but for the certain price point, who cares?
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
But you were selling a full set for $299?
Maybe.
In that neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got a few on here that Andy wrote down, Dad, and I want you to kind of, I think you were involved in most of these. So this one says Odyssey white steel putters, but I know that there was another Odyssey white hot pro putters. Do you remember when we had all those out here in the cart staging area?
Somewhat, yeah.
It was it was a few thousand pieces. He's got in here. It was our biggest buy at that time. It was $1.3 million worth of putters, and that's a ton of stuff. And absolutely, I remember sorting it out here. Thank God the weather was good.
Yes, you need good. If you're going to sort outside, you need good weather.
There was crap everywhere. At this barn over here, I don't think it was built. That barn over there was built, but we were sorting it in this huge parking area up here where the carts are at. The Killer Bees.
That was on my list.
That was you.
Killer Bees. The Killer Bees. Yeah, they were on TV on infomercials. They were selling them at about $225. They an infomercial lasts about 6 months. Then at about 9 months, they offered them to us at maybe we might have bought them at $30 or $40 and retailed them at golf shows at $70, and it was unspeakable because people had seen them at $225.
Right.
And we couldn't get them out. We couldn't sell them fast enough, and We went through a ton of those things. We had 3 woods and 5 woods,
Yeah.
and it was phenomenally good. We were the only ones that had them.
We bought all of them.
We bought everything they had,
Yeah.
and it was good. I don't know how good it was for the Killer Bee Company, but
I think it was the final sting.
yeah, that's what you call getting stung by the bee.
I think it literally killed them, but
Yeah.
I think they'd made their money by then and they just wanted out.
Yeah. You got to get rid of products.
It was basically a normal driver with a long shaft.
It was a long shafted
Yeah, it was
driver.
46
That's all
or
it was.
48
They
inch.
painted it black and yellow.
Yeah,
and
it had a good catchphrase
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
it
The
did.
head cover was cool.
It did. The head cover was cool, and people
Loved it.
they couldn't get
That's
enough.
what we were selling it for, like almost a third of the price.
Yes.
Right? Which is
$70 or so.
Yeah, $69.99,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was a $200 and something club on.
Yeah, that
on
was an
TV.
incredible situation
buy.
there. Yeah.
Well, going down this list, there's a few of those on here, so I'll keep going. Pure spin wedges. Were you involved in that? Or
Yeah, I
that
was.
Andy?
I remember those. Oh, jeez.
Had a diamond face.
Yeah.
This one's the Killer Bees. It says we sold around 2,000 of them. Pure spin diamond face wedges. We sold around 5,000 of them was his best guess, and 2,000 drivers. So that was a club that had a lifetime warranty, or until the company went out of business.
Well, I think you're right.
And then next thing you know, they're out of business.
They're out of business. Well,
But weren't
when
we selling this for like $29, $39?
Yeah.
And it was on
Yep.
TV for 100
on TV, yep,
100 or
yep.
120 or something. So I guess, folks, as we go through this list, don't believe everything you see on an infomercial. The only one that I think survived was the Tight Lies. Remember when we did that
Yeah,
deal?
I
That's not
remember.
even on
Yep,
here. But
yep.
remember when we did that deal?
I do.
So Tight Lies was on TV. This is an ad lib completely because it's not even on the list that we got from Andy. But Tight Lies was on TV for $199. They got Breakthrough Product of the Year, Adams Golf, 1996. I still remember that because it was the year I graduated high school. And it had a 30-day money-back guarantee. Because I think anything you sell on TV, I believe the law is it has to have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we bought all the used ones, right? Isn't that what you bought?
Everything.
All their demos, like returns.
Everything.
Some were like literally brand new, and some of them were a little beat up,
Right.
chip in the face,
Right,
or little
right.
paint scratch, or weren't we selling those for like $79 and $99 or something
Yeah.
like that? It was about half price of what TV was.
Maybe less, but anyway.
Yeah, but we took them to golf shows and we were selling them, thousands of them. We'd have a whole display of 3-wood steel stiff, a display of 3-wood steel regular, and people just buying them as fast as they could because all of our competition was like 150 and higher, and we were like about half that price and selling the crap out of them. Yeah, Tight Lies. Liquid Metal. Were you involved in that one?
A little bit.
Was
Yep.
that
I
Andy
remember it.
Moore?
Yep.
That driver, I think, was $6.99 on TV. I think we sold it for $129 or something like that.
Whatever. Just
It was
prices
insane.
went crazy.
Prices went crazy. How about cross peat bags?
Yeah, that's when they first come out with the individual dividers.
Dividers. Yeah, it had a divider top, but it wasn't
Yes.
plastic tubes.
No,
So plastic tubes ruined your graphite shafts.
and the crossbeat didn't.
The cross peat didn't, which was smart.
It was. We got in at the very, very, very beginning,
Yeah,
which was good. So when
Yeah,
we went
it
to
had
golf shows, we were the only ones that.
a ring around the outside.
Yes, we were the only ones that had it
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah,
For a while.
yeah. We were
Then we
ahead of the
didn't.
curve on that. It was
Yeah.
10 around the outside and 4 in the middle, right?
Something like that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was a new idea.
Did that company become Great Divider, or was they not related?
I couldn't tell you.
Who did we buy Crossbeat from?
I think it was their own company, but I'm not
Okay,
sure.
it wasn't Wendy or any of those people that we knew.
I don't think so.
No. Dry Joy blemished golf shoes.
The whole world wanted dry joys.
Right.
I really believe FootJoy, when they needed to sell shoes, they marked them blemished and then sold them cheaper because they don't bring a $100 wholesale shoe down to 50.
Right.
They take a shoe and
Right.
mark it blemished.
Blemished. Yeah,
And
exactly
then you buy it. But at golf shows, it was always wars on the pricing for those shoes.
Because you
And
couldn't find.
They were
the
red
one.
hot.
Yeah,
red
they were
hot. Everybody wanted.
Right.
Now
So you're
they-
taking a shoe that sells for $159 and selling it for $79 or $89. Everybody's like,
and you
oh
couldn't
my
tell.
God.
And you couldn't tell what was wrong with it.
Right, the box was stamped.
Stamp
Other than that,
blemished. Other than that, no good.
nobody cares. And it still had a warranty on it and all that. Dry Joy blemished golf shoes, incredible. Tailor-made inner gel bulk golf balls. Do you remember those?
Not much. No.
That was when it was around the same. Maybe the Slazenger Raw Distance was just before that.
Yeah, I remember that
The
one.
Slazenger Raw Distance was in
Ooh,
the biggest,
Tubs and
heaviest.
things, yeah.
Yes, it was the biggest, heaviest It was a Gaylord. If you folks don't know what a Gaylord is, it looks like it's a pallet with walls. Like it's a pallet that's probably got a 4-foot wall on it, and it's thick cardboard. And they were just filled with these golf balls. They were all loose. There was no packaging.
No packaging.
But it was insanely cheap, right? Weren't we selling them like 3 dozen for 20 or?
It was maybe cheaper
like
than that. It was.
Yeah, it was. We
It
bought
was
them for $3 or
crazy.
$4.
We might have bought them at $3 or $4
Yeah,
a dozen.
yeah.
Yep.
And it was hot at the time, right? Slazenger. It's kind
Well,
of
it had a good
premium.
name. It had a
Yeah,
good name.
yeah.
And when you can buy balls that cheap with any kind of name, you're home free.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And then TaylorMade, going back to the Intergel, if people don't remember this, TaylorMade used to claim that there was golf balls were ruined or deteriorated over time with atmospheric moisture, and so TaylorMade for a while was putting their golf balls in these plastic tubes. It almost looked like a tennis ball canister, but like a one that fits golf balls. It was clear and had a lid. And anyhow, they overproduced them or underproduced the packaging, maybe one or the other or both. Were they stamp practice? Something makes me think they were stamp
Probably.
practice, which is what companies do, like the blemished shoes.
Yeah.
They stamp practice on the golf ball
You got to sell golf balls.
because
Yeah.
it's got to go. So they just start stamping practice on the side of the ball to reduce the value and reduce the price and not embarrass themselves. Because the Intergel ball was like maybe $34.99 or $39.99 way back when golf balls were still $29.99. It was a little higher price, but the packaging was really, really cool. So all of a sudden we're selling them for like 2 dozen for $20, but they were bulk. They weren't in any kind of packaging at all.
All right.
This one I remember because I had to sort it, and I think I was maybe in high school or maybe college, but Sun Ice outerwear.
Huge. I sold quite a bit to California. My friends in California.
Yeah. Yeah, or Sunnis. I don't know. I don't even know how it's pronounced.
I think they call it Sun Ice. I think,
yeah, it's spelled Sun Ice, but
It
I've
was
heard
good.
people.
Bob,
Yeah.
I have to interject
Yeah.
because you've missed a couple here.
Oh.
Probably the best of all time was way back in the 90s. I think it was when Tiger Woods was at his peak. I bought. No, he's got it on his list here.
Yeah, it's next.
I bought 10,000 Tiger head covers, Tiger Woods head covers.
Yeah, Frank was his name. Have you ever seen the commercials with Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
And his head cover's name was Frank, the Tiger.
Why this individual sold them to me at $1 each, I have no idea. But I was awful glad he did.
Right.
And we were selling them at golf shows. You couldn't get them out fast enough. Tiger Woods was red hot, and we'd bring in 300 or 400 every golf show, and then they're gone. They're gone. $10
$10 a piece. Or
It was the most profitable deal that I'd ever made.
Yeah.
You know, as far as, and I still don't know why he sold them to me so cheap.
Was it
But
Gary?
yeah, it was. But
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, that was good. We had another one. I
Tiger
know.
Woods head covers. I'll take 10,000.
Well, you know, I
Because that's all
I
he
tried
had.
to sell them to a couple colleges, you know, that had a Tiger mascot.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a given.
It's a grand slam.
And they wanted nothing to do. And the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
Give them out
Uses
to
a
kids.
giveaway.
Buy them at $5 from me. Give them out to kids.
On
I thought it was a
school
given,
days
and
or
nobody bit. So that's okay. So it took me longer to sell them. I also had a situation where there was this is a long time ago, there was a luggage company, and I don't remember who they were, and they got into the golf bag business.
Oh, boy.
You would remember it. This was a crazy one.
Before me.
And the golf bags kind of looked more like luggage than golf bags. So, you know, they wanted to get out from under it, so I bought all they had. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't have a warehouse. I had no warehouse.
Here we go.
So my
again.
friend lives over here on Clyde Park, an older guy. And I said, Jack, you mind what do you got in your basement? He says, well, I can make room. I said, can you fit 500 golf bags? So we put all we could possibly jam in there, and we put them at my house. And we were selling them very, very quickly because the price was incredibly good. But they look kind of like a suitcase and that kind of thing, you know, that kind of material. They were good bags, nothing wrong with them. That this company just
It
decided
wasn't the
that
horse bag in that, was it?
no, this was it might have been, yeah. Anyway, it was something crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't like an old school Burton style bag.
No,
Like
it was like luggage material.
Oh God. Ugh.
Anyway,
I don't remember that. I do remember loading golf gloves into Grandma Watson's basement.
yeah, we
And
put them in
junior
there.
sets.
Yeah.
We put Powerboat junior sets in Grandma
Yeah.
Watson's.
So anyway, my friend he stored the bags for me. So when he'd come in to play golf or go to work, I'd say, bring one of this, two of that, three of that. And He'd bring them over back and forth, and eventually they sold quickly. They
Yeah.
sold quickly. What else you got on
That's
your list?
incredible. Some power belt buys. I know that when Dykema down the street was warehouse and power belt, there was some crazy stuff that happened.
Yeah. When companies need to, and our advantage was when companies need to get out from under it, I could take it, I could store it, and I could pay for it. Those are the three.
Yeah, you gotta have all
Those
three.
are the three. Got to have all three.
We just did that with Cobra just recently, and I'm going to shoot a video on that soon with Caitlin and Ethan here. That we just bought 4,000 sets of Cobra irons, and that's one of the best deals ever. That's why we bought 4,000 sets. It's going to take us 2 years to sell them, but when you can take an iron that sold for $1,000 and sell for $499, especially in the world of $800 to $1,400 irons. If you've got a good iron at $499, it moves. It's a good performer. It's not like it was a left field. How about any other good stories, Dad, about employees or any of that kind of stuff? We've had a cast of characters.
With cast of character. That's well said. Yeah. We anything that I would need to mention would take longer than it should on this podcast, so I better hold back. Bad buys. I know you talk about, think about bad buys. I've made some, not very many, and they were very, very small in scope. This was a long time ago. I bought ladies' jackets, just a regular nylon jacket. I bought them at $5, thinking I could sell them at $10. Unfortunately for me, I was wrong, and I couldn't sell them at $10. I couldn't sell them at $5. So eventually, they went in the donation bin, and out they went.
Yeah.
But I have to say that's one of the few in a long time, and I did the buying here, before you and your brother came on. It's one of the few mistakes that I made that, I couldn't get out from under.
Yeah.
And wasn't many, I'm talking about quantity bad buys. I did this and that, but overall things
And sometimes
were good.
you got to take the bad with the good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that buy that I made there, that was just bad. There was no good.
There was nothing positive out of it.
No. I can stare it in the face and tell you there was no good.
Yeah, well,
but there's been an awful lot of good things happening, as far as buying this and buying that and so forth and so on.
And I think that's how over time we've kind of grown our reputation. I was at an outing yesterday, and I was at an outing Wednesday, and I was at an outing last Wednesday, and you meet people, and some of them introduce you, and they're like, "Oh, this is Bob Kitchen. He's one of the owners of Maple Hill," or whatever, And they're like, "Oh, you guys' place has just an outstanding reputation." I'm like, "Well, thank you very much," because word of mouth means more than anything. You know
of course.
that. It means more than any. You can advertise all you want, but if people are like, "Oh, that place sucks," they won't go there. So once your reputation on the street is good, but it took a lot of years and years and years for you to do it right and to have the right staff. Between Smooth and Nick and Shabby and Fatma and all these guys that were some Westveer, some classics, right? To doing things right, you have to build it over time. Because back then, Dad, we were out in the middle of the sticks. I mean, this was all nothing was built. The hospital wasn't there. M6 wasn't there. We were way out of the way, right? And then everything kind of, by the grace of God, kind of grew around us. And thank God it did. Yep. And all of a sudden, we're kind of, I wouldn't say in the heart of it, but we're not off the beaten path anymore. Nope. We're maybe a mile off the beaten path instead of 8.
As it turns out, we're in a great location.
Yeah. And right on the corner, right? Like even the Pines, our friends of the Pines, they're pushed back off the road, right? It's not super visible. So if the Pines would have done what Maple Hill did, the building's not as visible. Like we're right on the corner, can't miss it. Huge building, driving range right there, which is obviously gigantic. So when you and your dad did it right, and with all your employees, and then Andy and I are trying to do our best, and with all these great employees, that's how you build that reputation over the years, and offering the right deals and always treating people right. You've always said, like, just keep it moving, keep the product moving, and make sure the customers are happy, and make sure your employees are doing their job, and keep your employees happy. And like you've always said, like, you don't necessarily need to have the world's most knowledgeable golf guy, but you need good people that want to work hard.
Yep.
And I think that's super important. You look at our staff.
Good people will learn.
Good people will learn.
They'll ask questions. They'll catch on. The customer will like them, and away you go.
Yeah.
I can take, and I've done it a lot over the years. I can take a good, hardworking person that knows very little about golf, and hopefully in 6 months,
Yeah.
they're fairly knowledgeable, but in those 6 months, they're still waiting on people, asking questions from fellow employees,
Right.
and catching on very quickly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the consumer, if a we'll call it a rookie waits on a consumer, if the rookie goes and asks questions, the consumer feels good about it.
Yeah.
Or he brings in a veteran, I'll call it, or expert.
Veteran,
That's
yeah,
probably a
yeah,
better word.
whatever.
Yeah. And then everything's good.
Right.
They know they're in good hands.
Right.
They know this person did the right thing until that person feels comfortable
Yeah.
doing what they're supposed to be doing.
We've always said that not knowing the answer is fine. That's okay. Don't make it up. Just go find the answer. We got a lot of
yeah.
we got a lot of great, knowledgeable people here.
Go
that
ask somebody.
really know. So,
Yep.
and I've always said, like, if you walk into Best Buy or you walk into a car store or whatever, and you're talking to somebody and if they're BSing you, you can tell right away, like, this
In
guy
a
doesn't
hurry.
know anything what he's
In a
talking
hurry.
about.
In a hurry.
You're asking about a TV and they're going, yeah, I think it's got the, and it's like, dude, will you please go get somebody that does know, because
I really, that's one of my least favorite things, walking into a place and knowing more than the guy who's waiting on me.
yeah,
That's,
exactly.
I don't like that so much.
No,
I
that's
don't like that.
And the truth is that there's so much to know in our business, right? Like when you,
Yep.
even back when you were doing it, like if you didn't want Cobra irons, you'd go buy the Pings. If you didn't want the Pings, you'd buy the McGregors or the Wilsons, or Callaways were coming around then, and TaylorMade was coming around then. Now, Callaway has like 12 different irons right now. 12 different irons right now. So how in the world is anybody going to know everything about everything? It's almost impossible.
You can't and you shouldn't.
You can't, yeah, it's nearly impossible.
Yes.
So there are consumers that read about it, learn everything about it, come in here and put our guys to the test. Well, if they get one of the rookies and one of the relatively new employees, they're not going to know every answer. They got to go to Tucker, or Tex, or
Yep.
Richard, or one of our veterans to find those answers. So yeah, you're exactly right. You can't just kind of plod your way through it without knowing what in the world you're talking about. You got to go find the answer, and that's always been part of treating the customer right and just doing it the right way. And I guess I can't thank you enough for setting us up for success over the years with you doing it the right way.
Yeah, well, back then I was hands-on. I still kind of am, but back then I was hands-on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we discussed it, and it's not brag, it's just fact. I went 7 years consecutive from April through September when I made an appearance in this building every day.
Right.
No summer vacations, no this, no. I'm not saying I was here very long, some days,
Right.
an hour here, an hour there, but I was hands-on. If there was a problem, I solved it that day or by
Yeah.
the next one. Kept an eye on everything, and I felt good about it.
Yeah.
I felt good about it, and it was possible back then. I was glad I did it, and so forth and so on. So
Yeah.
that was good. Then as time went on, then a little, then I had more help and better help and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But
When
it was-
Andy and I got a
when we
little
started,
older,
yeah,
we
that was,
started
yeah, exactly.
stepping in.
Everything
Yeah.
kind of went up. Well, you know what?
Huh.
I have to go to the doctor.
Okay. Well,
Now, can you imagine an old person going to the doctor?
I was gonna say, is it time for pills? or
That's
what?
unheard of. Don't give me this time for a pill. Jeez.
So
You think
you might have to exit.
You think
and I
I'm
have to
kidding?
finish
You know
this
I'm not
off.
kidding.
No, I know. I can't. We made it this long.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. That's
Well, I have
anyway.
to go to the mailbag question. So
Well, you do
don't
the
have anything to
mailbag.
do with that.
I'll go listen to a doctor tell me how good I am.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
All right. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. So moving right along, the mailbag question. This is actually a great one. This is a question from Spotify from a user named Daniel, and I'll just use the last initial A. So Daniel A, thank you very much for asking this question. As a matter of fact, I played an outing on Saturday with my buddy Wayne, and he asked the exact same question. So here's your answer. So the question is, why are golfers replacing their 3-wood with a 5-wood? I would think that gapping is huge and they would lose a lot of distance. So here's the answer to that. So Wayne is 75 years old. Daniel, I have no idea how old you are, but here's the story. So bear with me for a minute. 3-woods do go further than 5-woods, assuming you can launch a 3-wood, spin it enough to keep it in the air, and if it's carrying far enough, it'll give you more roll too because it's lower. But if it's not, if you don't have enough speed to launch a 3-wood, There's now 3-wood HLs, which is 3-wood high launch, or you can always go to a 5-wood. 5-wood, obviously, slightly shorter shaft, usually a half an inch, sometimes an inch, but usually a half an inch. 3 degrees more loft, usually around 18 degrees. 5-wood is much, much easier to get in the air. The 18-degree launches properly, gives you more carry, and you can hit it off of worse lies. So if your lie's not real good in the fairway or in the rough, if the ball's sitting down a little bit, there's kind of grass between your club and the ball, you'll hit a 5-wood further. So if off a tee, if you can hit it and launch it, a 3-wood will go further. For probably 30% of the population, I'll say a third of the people, a 5-wood will go further because they just can't launch a 3-wood high enough to keep it in the air long enough to get it to go. And I've always used the hose analogy, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, I think. Hold your hose real, real low. Turn the water on full blast. Not quite fire hose, but turn it on full blast. The water's coming out hard. It's moving fast. Now go turn the pressure down on that faucet, and you have to raise the hose in order for that water to fly as far as possible and land as far on the pavement from you as possible. So when you turn down that water pressure, that's lowering your club head speed. As you lower club head speed, you need launch to go up. That's why, generally speaking, seniors and ladies with slower swing speeds play higher lofted golf clubs because they need that launch to keep the golf ball in the air. Golf ball moves faster in the air than it does on the ground. You need the proper combination of launch, speed, spin, carry distance, and roll. So there's a whole bunch involved in that. But if you don't hit a 3-wood consistent enough, don't hit it high enough, a 5-wood is a very, very good option. So woods are set up to be 20 yards apart. Hybrids are set up to be 15 yards apart. Irons are set up to be 10 yards apart. All things created equal. So if you have a 3-wood and my 3-wood goes about 210 to 220, your 5-wood should go about 200. Your 7-wood should go about 180 to 190, somewhere in that range. And then your 4 hybrid would be a 9-wood, would go 15 yards less than that. 5 hybrid, 15. And then iron, 10 yes, 10, 10, 10, right on down. So that's the spacing that they design when they design these golf clubs. And then like Cobra, for instance, I'll pick on them for a minute because they got a really smart idea. The Air X2 line that we just got a deal on, the ladies' 3-wood has 3 degrees more loft than the men's 3-wood. So they kept it a 3-wood head. They kept it a 3-wood shaft. They simply added 3 degrees of loft to the golf club to actually get a ladies' 3-wood in the air. I think it's a 19-degree 3-wood. So that's like 1 degree more loft than a men's 5-wood. But it's a 3-wood. Ladies can actually get in the air and get it moving and hit it far off the ground. And it's got a 1.5 offset, so it keeps the ball from going to the right. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the 5-wood and 7-wood are phenomenal also. So why are golfers replacing their 3-woods with their 5-wood? Because they hit it more consistent, possibly further, and it's more versatile off of bad lies. That's the answer to that. I hope everybody followed all that. There's a lot to it, but I'm pretty passionate about 5-wood, 3-wood debate because we sell more 3-woods than we should. A lot of people should be playing 5-woods. Moving on to the Maple Spill, the what's happening here at Maple. Ladies, girls golf for high schools just started. I got a bunch of buddies whose daughters are doing tryouts this week, and good luck to them. We have a Ladies Week sale happening now until August 21st. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. It's listed on maplehillgolf.com. Just click on Ladies Week. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Irons, shoes, clothing, bags, balls, gloves, hats. Basically, you name it. We've got a ton of ladies stuff going on now through August 21st, 2025. So Ladies Week happening. And then near and dear to my heart, the 17th annual Pops Invitational, August 21st is a Thursday. This is the sheet on that. Absolutely awesome. Lots of giveaways, $240 per team. Super fun, 8 a.m. shotgun. And then August 23rd, on the 23rd, the 8 a.m. one filled up. 8 a.m. It's toast. So Saturday, August 23rd, 130 shotgun, $360 per team. The Saturday one is also going to feature every paid entry gets a free pair of shoes, grand prize drawing, long drive, close to the pin, on-course games, big skins, 50-50 raffle, lunch after the round, or I think it's before the round for the PM one. So anyhow, my grandfather passed away of Alzheimer's. My dad, who was just here, his dad, my grandpa, passed away of Alzheimer's. We tried to raise some money and do some good for the cause. And my grandpa was a super, super fun human being. He was a great guy. So anybody that knew him knew his love for life. And we just really appreciate the support on this. This has been overwhelmingly successful and popular. So, and it's just a really, really good time. So, August 21st and August 23rd, if you can make it to that, signups are on maplehillgolf.com. You'll just search the pops. You'll find it on there. If not, you can always call in. And Amanda Helmer is her name. She's handling all of the signups for the pops. She handles that so beautifully. And Mike Maris and Steve Strock do a great job of running that event, as well as my dad and my brother are also heavily involved in that. So it's kind of our blockbuster keystone outing of the year, and it's really, really fun. So I guess that basically wraps it up. So new episodes drop every other week. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And soon enough, we're adding this to the maplehillgolf.com website. If it's not already up, it will be soon. On the bottom of the homepage, you'll be able to just click on the Hill Unscripted, and you can listen to myself, my funny conversations with my dad or my mom or Richard or any of the other guys that I'm going to have on. So thank you once again for listening. I appreciate everybody. And until next time, BK signing off.